You know that feeling when a game has real atmosphere, but then it trips over its own controls? Deepest Trench is a little bit like that. It does a decent job of nailing the vibe, but then it starts to fight with you with basic usability, and there are some other minor issues as well that make this game slightly less good than it could have otherwise been. Deepest Trench is a narrative-driven underwater co-op adventure, and what's interesting about it is that your co-op player does not need to own the game because you can use Steam Play Together. The game is full of puzzle solving, exploration, oxygen management, and there are 2 characters and 2 tools for every character throughout the entire game. It's built for local co-op and remote play together, but you can still play solo, and if you do play solo, you'll be switching between the 2 characters. On Steam, it is made and published by Favor Games or Favor Games, and it launched on the 30th of October 2024, so I'm a bit late to this particular party. The price varies by region, so check your Steam store page for the exact price on the day that you're watching, but it's round about 10 quid. So what do they claim? What do the developers claim? They say it's a co-op Mariana Trench mission with teamwork, puzzles, danger, mystery, and atmosphere. Is that true? Yes. I have to say it's mostly accurate. The tone lands, the story tries to be serious, the facility exploration is interesting enough, but the moment-to-moment flow can wobble a little bit, especially when the game blocks your movement during dialogue, or when the UI fails you at the exact moment you need direction. So this most certainly is not a hardcore sim. It's more of a cinematic underwater adventure with light survival elements. The oxygen mechanic adds tension, but it's pretty basic, and the environments feel deep sea-ish. But the buoyancy and the swim controls don't feel natural, they don't feel realistic, and that's a bit of a shame. One of my biggest hates for underwater swimming games is when you cannot look down and continue on a straight plane. So if you're looking along the floor for, a clue or a bit of kit or something, in this game, as soon as you look down, you start swimming down, and that's a pet hate of mine. The visuals are quite strong, I'd say B-movie-esque rather than AAA, but the underwater facility looks pretty cool, and the lighting shift when systems come online does improve readability and mood. The voice acting is decent, sometimes much better than the writing, honestly, and the script swings between serious military drama and why are you saying it like that? As you have a prenuptial disagreement between 2 ex-lovers. Honestly, I think the attempt to sell them as lovers was pretty much unneeded, and it's very cheesy and very corny 99% of the time. But that's not the fault of the voice actors as much as it is the writer. So I had one moment where I thought the game had crashed, or I tried to bring up the map and nothing happened. And I had quite a few, where am I meant to be going? What am I meant to be doing moments? Because the guidance wasn't really there. I discovered right at the very last minute that the objective I was supposed to be fulfilling is only visible if you open up the pause menu. And maybe that was made clear to me early on, but it didn't stick. So a few times I kind of got a little bit lost. So the 3 star features for me have to be the co-op structure. It actually does work quite well. The 2 characters having to use tools and work out puzzles, and if you had a teammate working with you, I think it would be a lot more fun than trying to do it on your own, to be fair. Although the mini-map pretty much gives away all of the puzzles. And I'm torn as to whether or not I like that, because it definitely made it easier, but there was no challenge whatsoever. Once I knew what I was meant to be doing, it was really, really very simple indeed. The environment, I'm going to give that a bit of a thumbs up. The facility's eerie, the ocean outside is intimidating. There's some great scenes of blue whales, I think they're called. The massive blue whales, and some sharks which try and kill you. Some interesting stuff. So the environment's pretty good. The predators are definitely key in this game. The breadcrumb mystery, I'm going to give that half a thumbs up as well. The audio logs, the evidence, and something is a bit off down here. It's genuinely Moorish. When you get past the sort of cheesy acting and whatnot, there is a sense of, oh, I really want to know what happens next. And that's good, because it does keep you playing. Worst feature, as if it's not the lack of realistic swimming physics, then it's the clarity of what you're supposed to be doing next. And sometimes the narrative-driven element of the game really gets in the way of everything else, and they prattle on for ages, and you're not sure if you can't do something because they're talking, or whether you've just misunderstood what you're supposed to be doing. If I were to make some recommendations to the dev, I'd say fix the swimming physics. If there's one thing I really want in a swimming game, is realistic swimming physics. If the map exists, then it's got to work when I press the button. I can't have it not work. If there is no map, then maybe you need to say you don't have a map. Just a bit of clarity around what is going on and what is supposed to be happening. I'd also like to stop the players from freezing whilst we're listening to dialogue. So when we're listening to audio cues, it would be great if we could just close that menu down, carry on with our mission, whilst listening to the audio clue that we've just discovered. Final thoughts. Deepest Trench has a decent to strong concept. It's tense co-op exploration, underwater horror adjacent pressure, and a mystery that does hook you if you can get past the cheesy chit-chat. But it's definitely rough around the edges. It's not AAA polish, it's more a bunch of good ideas that need tightening. But if this is their first crack at a game, then I'll give them a lot of credit, because there's a lot here that's quite decent, and it wouldn't take an awful lot to polish this up and make it something quite a bit more than it currently is. If you play co-op and you're patient, you'll probably have a great time. If you're playing solo, you'll probably still enjoy it, until the game's guidance and controls start sort of getting in your way, I suppose. It's a good game. If this is something you're interested in, the price is very reasonable, about 10 quid. And there's some good stuff here. Maybe even some great stuff here. And I don't want to ruin any of the story elements, but you definitely want to try and get to the end if you can. That's all I'll say. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Goodbye for now.
In the land of the web where the reviews abound, some UK's got the truth that'll turn it around. Honest insights, no whispers in the dark. Fact-based wisdom igniting that spark. Navigating life with a click and a scroll. Understanding the details, it's all about control. With every line you read, you're gaining the facts. No tricks up our sleeves, we stay on the tracks. We don't play games, we simulate reality. With SimUK reviews as your ultimate clarity. Best as goes, guiding you through each page. In this digital jungle, we ignite the stage. From smartphones to gadgets, we scope it all out. Nothing but honesty, there's no need to doubt. The ultimate realism is what we bring forth. With every word written, we deliver true worth. You wanna know what's hot, you wanna know what's cool. SimUK's the place, making you the informed fool. No sugarcoating here, just genuine delight. With every review, we shine a bright light.